Rich and vital forests. Madagascar's forests are famous for their flora and fauna unique in the world. They also provide products essential to everyday life of Malagasy people, such as charcoal. These forests should be sustainably managed to preserve their wealth and not threaten the economic security of the population. Slash-and-burn agriculture, main justification for the areal surveillance. Each year, even in protected areas, large superficies of forests are cleared for slash-and-burn agriculture. This practice, illegal in all the Malagasy territory, often leads to irreversible destruction of forests. Clearings are made away from the frequented path and are therefore almost impossible to locate on the ground. So, aerial surveillance is useful to locate these sites. The advantages of aerial surveillance. The cost of aerial surveillance is smaller than the purchase of very recent satellite images. The passage of the aircraft may have a deterrent effect on people clearing the forest. Finally, the pictures taken are oblique photographs, which are easier to interpret than vertical photographs or satellite images. This allows to involve local communities in their interpretation. Oblique aerial photography is simply to take georeferenced photographs from an airplane window with a camera connected to a GPS. In this way, each photo has associated geographical coordinates which correspond to the position of the aircraft. Methodology for aerial surveillance. The route of the flight is encoded in a GPS. The pilot therefore follows a fixed path for each overflight. Overflights are at the height of 500 meters above the ground, following transects separated by a distance of 3 kilometers. The fields of vision between two successive transects overlap, and all the protected area is covered. As the same routes are followed each year, it is easy to compare the photos taken at the same location. In protected areas of high altitude, such as Marudzet's Tsaratanan corridor, due to cloud cover that fits on top of mountains, it is often difficult to follow transects through the center of the protected area. An alternative route can be developed following the forest edge at the base of the mountains. That allows picturing sites that are most subject to burning, which are below the cloud layer. Oblique photography is particularly interesting for this type of protected areas. Geolocalization of new burnings and monitoring. As the geographical coordinates of the photo, the altitude and direction of the shot are known, it is easy to find in Google Earth shooting equivalent to that of aerial photography. Then, we simply place the new burning manually in Google Earth. We therefore obtain their geographic coordinates automatically. It is also possible to draw polygons corresponding to the burn and get their area. We can therefore evaluate the inter-annual evolution of the surfaces cleared. This methodology is very intuitive and therefore easy to learn by the managers of protected areas. Depending on the morphology of clearings, the most appropriate path for ground patrol is selected. Placing in Google Earth hamlets, path or crossing path, you can easily create a map of patrol. Using aerial surveillance in the field. The photos of the village are used to introduce villagers to the interpretation of aerial photographs. They are quickly able to locate different parts of the landscape and their home, but also new clearings in the forest. Oblique aerial photographs thus help to efficiently sensitize to the importance of burning. A photographic exhibition raises awareness of the richness of the forest and the dangers of burning. The field operations are simplified thanks to aerial photographs and maps of patrols combined with the use of GPS. The interventions confirm the high precision of the methodology, which allows to intervene efficiently on sites of less than 1 hectare. The settlers caught or living in the closest hamlets are always sensitized thanks to aerial photographs. Discussions allow knowing the causes of deforestation and adapting the management of the protected area accordingly. The Aerial Surveillance Project currently covers 16 protected areas. Here are some results at 2 sites. In a sample that represents 15% of Tsimanam-Pesutsi National Park, which contained 100% of the burn area of the park in 2010, the cleared area switched from 20 hectares in November 2010 to 3.5 hectares in November 2012. Which corresponds to a decrease of 80% of the burning rate in 2 years. In the new protected area of PK32 Renube, 4,200 hectares of forests were cleared in November 2010, 2,000 hectares were cleared in November 2012. The burning rate decreased by 52% from 2010 to 2012. Conclusions. Areal surveillance is a simple and inexpensive method to intuitively assess the evolution of slash-and-burn agriculture in protected areas. As this practice is the most destructive of forest pressures, making oblique aerial photographs allows getting an idea of the effectiveness of the protection of these ecosystems. The aerial surveillance projects also helps to respond effectively and with great precision on the ground to reduce the impact of burning, involving local communities in the analysis and use of aerial photographs. Aerial surveillance has already helped preserve thousands of hectares of forest in the Tuléar region. This methodology is hopeful for the sustainable management of natural resources in Madagascar.
Aye, 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 aye,